As a Liverpool fan in the stands, you can't even hate on that goal. The pass from Ilanga was absolute class, and then that finish from Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think he doesn't score a lot of goals, but that's Callum Hudson-Odoi. If he does score, that's the kind of goal you get. Yeah. Liverpool, not the greatest of weekends for them. I would say they've stumbled in the title charge, early days yet, but it's Pep Guardiola. You know that you can't drop any points.
That's true. And you listen to what Arteta said before the start of the season. This season, every point matters. And I think the same thing for Liverpool, because they've done it with Manchester City. I think at the point during their club era, they lost the title by just a point. Twice, you know. So, I mean...
Margins are small.
Yeah, and, you know, so... Right from the start of the season, match day 4, Nottingham Forest. I mean, it should be an easy win, honestly. Especially playing at Anfield and knowing the record that you have at home. But I think that
Forest wins since 1960.
Exactly.
That's major for them.
Yeah, it's crazy, and for me, I think that it's a shock. I was watching it, I couldn't believe it, you know. But I think that the introduction of Elanga and then Callum Hudson-Odoi, I mean, it brought some kind of energy, and I truth is that I haven't seen. I mean, that's my opinion. That's what I observed. I haven't seen Konate struggle a bit, honestly. I mean, he struggled trying to contain the threat of Callum Hudson-Odoi, you know. So, but I think that for Liverpool, I mean, after the game, I read an article where Anna Slot says that probably the honeymoon is over. And of course, because you can't be at home and then you're losing to a team that nearly got relegated last season. And so for me, I think that it's very unfortunate. But I think that credit to Nuno Espirito Santo. But I think for Liverpool, there's a time to wake up. There's a time that when we're in a title race with Arsenal, Man City, you don't drop points at home. You need to grab the points anytime that you are playing at home and knowing that when you go away, it's going to be difficult. And so for me, I think that it's very shocking. But I think that it's time for Liverpool. It's time for Anna Slot and his boys to reflect and go into the next game and ensure that they grab all the next 3 points.
Dennis?
I was disappointed. You see, I watched this Liverpool team in the first half. Nuno decided to be very pragmatic. So you realize that Nottingham Forest were very compact, trying to look out for the counter-attack. In the first half, I think it was very cagey, very tight, but I thought Liverpool would switch into a different mode in the second half. But then Slot decided to make a gamble. I still don't understand why the coaches Slot, Gary Southgate, still think that Arnold can play in midfield. I don't seem to understand why, because we've watched. The guy is a right back. And for the fact that he's good with his feet, he has nice questions, doesn't necessarily mean that he can play in midfield. It's a lie. I am surprised because Southgate tried it a few times. He struggled in midfield. He's not a midfielder, and that's what he is. And I've said that he's a wonderful right back, and I feel that he's a great player to have in your club. It's just about how you manage and maximize the best out of him. Marcelo was a great left back. He was not the best defender, but he was a wonderful left back, meaning that you can always maximize the best out of him, and just about making your defense play to the strength of it, so that they're able to cover up for him and all that. That's why Pepe and Ramos were always like still at the back, when Marcelo was always assisting Ronaldo up front. So in the second half, he decided to bring Arnold in midfield, thinking that could change, but he backfired. Because he brought in Bradley, who struggled against, we saw the goal where he he struggled from the second half. So I just feel that the manager have to realize that he can still get it, but he's a wonderful footballer. I think that he still has to play in right back, because when he's there, he gives you more up forward. So for the defensive deficiency, you should find a way to manage that situation. But to keep on shifting into midfield, it just doesn't work. And Southgate tried it a couple of times, never worked. I don't see why the coaches still want to try it. He's just a right back, and you have to get the best out of him there. It's as simple as that.
Let's talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi for a bit. He did score the goal, but even at Forest, he doesn't seem to be a unanimous starter. And this is somebody everybody thought was on his way to being, worst case scenario, a regular first team guy for like a top 4, top 6 type team.
You're not buying wanted him at a point.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And what has gone wrong for him, and how does he polish it up?
I don't know. Myself, I struggle to understand. I don't know what is it. I don't get it, because to move from a player that was wanted by Bayern Munich and to be a player that is more like a peripheral at Nottingham
Forest.
Forest. The gap is so huge, and
Yeah.
I don't seem to
And
understand.
Forest bought him really
because
cheap.
I know he
Yeah.
had a few injury issues.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about injury sometimes. You may never come back the same. But for me, I think it's more of a mental thing because it's about believing the kind of player you are and making sure that you get up there again. And
Yeah.
if you can play and get a good run in at Nottingham Forest, then I don't see the future here.
Looks like your Premier League future is running out.
He's running down. And I'm very disappointed because he showed a lot of prospects, but it's as if he's become very inconsistent. He seems to be having some good games, patches of good games,
Yeah.
but the consistency is not there. And that is something that is I'm surprised about because he showed a lot of prospects. And I don't know what it could be down to. I don't want to blame it just on the injuries, but I think it should be a bit of a mental problem as well.
There's a mental story.
Yeah.
I also think that definitely the Chelsea turmoil got to him a little. Not playing regular football has affected his rhythm overall. But I'm not saying Forest, man. Come on. I expected him to get more playing time. Anyway, let's get